What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is United vs. Everybody. If this is your first time here, I am your host, Sean. If this is your first time here, if you're not new, you know the drill. This is the Man United News Roundup. Every so often throughout the summer, especially, we're going to stop and we're going to round up the latest news, rumors, reports, updates, anything and everything United related as it comes throughout the week. So that's what today is. No stream yesterday, of course. Not really a whole lot going on yesterday. Some of that we're going to talk about today, but it is nice sometimes too, just to kind of take a Sunday off, right, and relax, chill. Sunday was pretty busy anyway yesterday. I did all sorts of stuff in the morning, and then I decided, like an idiot, to go mow the lawn, and it was about 90 degrees by 10 a.m. already, so I was paying for that yesterday, but it is what it is. Grass is cut, things are happening, so we are back, though. You've likely, too, noticed the new drip. I'm telling you guys, GoGoalShop. Go check it out, man. Register with the code in the video description. You're going to get $5 off when you register with that code. GoGoalShop was kind enough to hook me up with that code to extend to all of you all. And if you get something, when it arrives, leave a review on their website. You get even more GoGoalShop cash to use on future jerseys, man. This is the 07-08 away in the long sleeve. As you can see, we're going to go full Sergio Ramos and hike those up to the elbow, but this thing's awesome. This is one that I've had my eye on for a while, and finally went and had to grab that. So, but I'm telling you, GoGoalShop's got everything you need. They've already got this year's home, this year's away. They've got that baseball tee. They've got warm-ups. They've got goalkeeper jerseys if you really want to do that. And as you can see, they've got old school vintage stuff as well. They've got stuff from the treble year, a lot of 07-08 stuff in there as well. Go check it out. So, and also, before we dive into the news, Kickabout tomorrow night, not Wednesday night. So normally it's a Wednesday Kickabout at 6. Tomorrow it's going to be Tuesday. Dylan's out of town, but he did want to make sure we do that. He just requested that we do it a day earlier, which I am more than happy to oblige. Love having Dylan on the channel. He's a big part of the show now. So be sure to make sure you hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss it. Kickabout tomorrow night, not Wednesday. If you're worried about missing it, like I said, hit the notification bell. While you're doing that, make sure you're liking the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new. Go check out the memberships to learn how you can get more involved in the content, including joining in on the Kickabout show for the Legends members. That is an option for you. Go check out the UVE store as well. There's a link in the video description for all sorts of one-of-a-kind gear and everything. Brand new Mbumo shirt is in there. The 9.5 shirt is back, and you get the OG green and gold, the class of 92 shirt. It's all in there. Go check it out. You don't give the Glazers any money, and you don't, spend an arm and a leg. So, of course, first and foremost, I got to get stuck in with the chats to see how everyone is doing, who's involved, what's going on. Lucky in the house. Talking about Hojlund. We're going to talk about Hojlund for sure. Big up, Lucky. Good to see you again. Rob in the house. Yes, please do hit those like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Big up. Danny, as always, my Irish brother from another mother, the SAS, the South American Scout. How are you doing, Danny? You working today, man? You off? Are you procrastinating? Are you distracting yourself from work like you were the other day? Big up. Hope you guys are doing well. And Danny's, I told you guys, he's a South American Scout. He's already first just jumping in with some players. For me to go ahead and take a look at. I'll put him down, Danny, don't worry, bud. I do have another scouting report video coming for you guys if you guys are interested. This time it's on center backs, so maybe keep a lookout for that one, maybe even later on tonight. We'll see how much time I have, but I do have a handful of young center backs that I'd want you guys to take a look at. So, and of course, we've got Justin in the house. I hope Justin. Oh, yeah! Well, how you doing, my guy? I hope you're having a good day, man. How's this weather? It is already baking outside, dude. Not great. Not a fan. Danny said he's starting banging him in for international. You know what I'm really upset about while we're talking about South American players? I'm super upset. We're going to go off on a tangent here, so bear with me. I'm really frustrated that it seems like the streaming rights, the broadcast rights are changing almost every single year for some of these leagues, man. I was so excited, hey, Belgian League popping up. Belgian League is now streaming on like the Zone or some crap instead of ESPN Plus where it used to stream. You know how upset that makes me? That's false advertising, ESPN. At least you can still get like Eredivisie and stuff, but like the Championship went from ESPN Plus now to Paramount Plus, which was, I still have Paramount Plus, but it's still frustrating. But yeah, super frustrated because even you used to get like the Argentinian League and stuff on Paramount Plus. I don't even know if that's on there. The Scottish Premiership was on there for a while. Really annoyed that these broadcast rights seem to change every year. I almost watched the MLS match last night and then freaking forgot that they're only on Apple TV now, which is stupid, man. I'm so annoyed. So ESPN Plus effing up. I'm about to find out what happens because you're losing a lot of your leagues. I'm about to drop you like third period French and move on to something else because I'm getting super annoyed. Thankfully, you've still got some domestic cups in England. So you're holding on by a thread, though, ESPN. Everything else is picking everything else up. So freaking annoying. Bexy, big up. He's getting involved. Yes, there is a poll in the live chat, you guys. I want to know your thoughts, where you think it's going to happen with Hojlund before we get into all that. We got Baleba talk. We got Hojlund talk. We got goalkeeper talk. Little bit of winger talk, and then we've got some fitness updates based on some of the stuff coming around from the training today. So we're jumping into all that today. Bexy says Hojlund will go. Barada stated about 2-year performance plan. United need to stick to this. Xerxes or Ugarte Mount. Yeah, and we know that Barada's got the thing. Now the question is, Bexy, does that start when Ineos and Barada arrive, or does they count the year that, before when they weren't even here? Like, you never know. Again, the players picked a team. It's up to the players. Hojlund had a lot of opportunities. Maybe there are extenuating circumstances. I think if we can forgive, if Ineos and the fans are going to forgive maybe Amorim for the struggles last year and the, kind of the extenuating circumstances to that and everything, maybe Hojlund gets a pass. I don't know. It's not up to me. It's up to you guys. You guys know I'm pretty much done with him, mostly because I was one of his longtime defenders for a long time. And he continued just to get worse and worse and worse. And so I'm really just frustrated because I stuck my neck out for that guy week in, week out. But now it is what it is, man. And maybe it's just not going to work. Maybe he's just not it. But we talked yesterday. We talked a little bit more today. What happens if we sell him? Do we still need another striker? Do we not? We're going to get into all that today. But big up, Bexy. Good looking out. Rob says Diego Leon is on EFC of 25. Didn't know till this week. Yeah, he's on there, man. If you go full immersion like I do, I made sure to sign him like right away before the season because they got the live start points, right? So I don't have it anymore. I traded it in, put a pre-order down for FC26 like a fucking idiot. So we'll see what happens. Make no doubt about it. I'm ready to be disappointed again. So we'll see. Some of the updates look halfway decent for career mode and whatnot, but we'll see. I do like that there's like a manager transfer market now. So now managers can get sacked. They can have caretaker managers. There's manager free agent pool if they do get sacked and stuff. So you can actually go and hire one of the free agents, which they've been needing for years. If they had all these manager models and everything in the game, like, and even if those managers weren't working, they still have the models. Just put them as free agents so you can choose them in career mode. Like, I don't have to freaking go and create somebody every time I want to do that. I know most people don't care about that because Ultimate Team is usually what makes the money, but I don't ever play Ultimate Team. I've never even done player career. I've only ever done manager career, so go with it. I didn't even do the what was that thing? The story. What was that thing with for like 3 years they did that story mode career. You guys remember that? Alex Hunter, is that what the kid's name was? Never did that. Didn't do Volta because I just don't. It's not my thing. So it is what it is. So literally just manage your career. That's it. And then maybe like create a club with like random stuff. So, but you guys let me know what's your poison in FC 25. What's going to be your poison in FT 26? What are you looking forward to most? You guys let me know. Rob says DAZN is great. I didn't even know it was called DAZN until like 2 weeks ago when Justin told me. I was just calling it DAZN. Why didn't any of you guys correct me? Did nobody else know? Was it like school where nobody wants to answer the question, so nobody puts their hand up? Like, if so, I get it. If not, and you guys are just letting me go around saying it wrong, then we got problems. But Justin, let me know what it's called, and now I don't look like an idiot anymore. So pick up. Danny hasn't played it in years. It's pretty legit, man. Danny, I think you would like it, dude. With the scouting and the academy, especially the academy overhaul they did last year. Now you can play like 5-a-side tournaments with the youngsters as you develop them and stuff. I think that's pretty legit. So Let's see. Danny says, yeah, Fanatis. Yeah, they got Fanatis. What's other crap that they've got this shit on now that I can't watch? I can't freaking just subscribe to 8 different platforms just to watch different leagues. Like ESPN used to have a lot of them, and now they've just started losing them all, and it's really getting on my nerves. So, let me get caught up here. Bexy says United will do quick business with Baleba, in my opinion. I think they're ready to just pay. We'll see. We're going to jump on that one because leads us right into where we're going at, Bexy. So you guys make sure you like and make sure you subscribe and put on your Funderwear. Let's get stuck in with some big news that came out yesterday, because this is coming from Indy Kayla. That was yesterday morning. Now, Indy Kayla is becoming a bit of a well-known personality when it comes to transfer business and whatnot. He's getting picked up by Ornstein, picked up by Padula, picked up by Romano now. They're giving this person props. They're mentioning this person and stuff. And so I think we can kind of count Indy Kayla as a legitimate source these days. So add it to your list, probably up there with top tiers in terms of transfer rumors. So anyone wanting to update their transfer liability to your list, add them to it. So this is what Indy Kayla had to say yesterday. Baleba wants out. Period. End of. That's it. Personal terms agreed. Already wants it. Similar to Šeško. Šeško, we had the personal terms locked up before things were done. Cunha wanted to come before Europa League final. Buemo told other clubs, nope, only going to United. Personal terms agreed before we start negotiating. Gives us a bit of a leverage in there. We don't have to try to convince anybody. We don't have to try to sit there and put out $300K in wages. Listen up, Donnarumma. We're going to get the Donnarumma. I'm not paying $250, $300K a week, bro. You're going to have to take a pay cut. Indy Kayla says Carlos Baleba has made his intentions clear. He's verbally asked Brighton to let him move to Manchester United. Baleba's agent has given the thumbs up on the personal terms offer if Brighton agrees to let him go this summer. Brighton at this moment have not nudged from their £100 million valuation on the player. Remember, we got that report too that his agent might be willing to lower commission to make this happen, similar to what Šeško did. Remember, Šeško took less money than what Newcastle were offering. We paid less money than what Newcastle were offering Leipzig, and Šeško's agent took less commission from this. So who's that club we call United? Get fucked, Newcastle. And then we got this little nugget from Marco Alcaraz. Brighton have allowed Carlos Baleba's agents to discuss personal terms with Manchester United. Green light came a few days ago. Financials will be key in this potential deal. United are not currently looking at any alternatives. So he is number one target, according to some of these journos. What are you guys' thoughts on some of these here? He says he used to call it dead zone, but since Saudi bought it. Yeah, isn't it like, yeah, Danny's in like a boxing thing? Because, I mean, he's in boxing pretty much owned by the Saudi now on the investment fund, and I think golf too, so maybe there's a lot of golf. I don't know. Let's see. Rob says they do sometimes call it DAZN to help those. They need to they need to just rebrand that because that's confusing. Nobody calls it. It looks like Dazen or Dazen, like the Days Inn, like the actual motel chain created an app or something for, registering or ordering room service. Very weird. So, Lucky says we have contact Baleba regularly. Yes. Emma Romano has been telling us for the last couple of days now that we have been in constant contact with Baleba. Remember, he also said that with Gyökeres, and that didn't work out as well. But this doesn't sound like that. Remember, Gyökeres wanted to go to Arsenal. Baleba reportedly wants to come to United as well. Danny says, any of his fighters want big fights, they will have to go through Turkey. You guys are talking about that. Justin says, "Okay, does that mean we can watch Belgian League at my place when you're free?" I don't have it. I didn't buy it, man. If we want to, we can, but no, I didn't buy it. It's like $20 a month or some shit, dude. That's insane. Literally the only thing I would watch would be the Belgian. I'm gonna have to find some sort of dodgy stream or something if I want to watch any Club Brugge or any Royal Antwerp. I was all hyped to watch Sen Lamens, and then lo and behold, nope, not doing that. So we'll figure it out. There are always some dodgy streaming sites. I found a couple in the past, not a big deal, but we'll see how it is. But if you gotta watch the Belgian League, guys, watch the Belgian League. I've got several more players ready and raring to go in my young center back scouting report that we'll be doing maybe later on tonight or maybe sometime, maybe Wednesday. Maybe I'll do that Wednesday. We'll see. Remember, kick about tomorrow, not Wednesday. So make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss out. Danny says, get a Fire Stick and email me. How many more contraptions do I sound old? Like so I stream using my Xbox, my Series X. So that's all the apps are on there. I just use that for that. Literally only use it to stream and to play FC26. That's all I'm playing. So that's it. So we'll see what happens. I got no problem using streaming services and finding a dodgy stream someplace. I do that all the time anyway with random leaks. So it's not a big deal. It's not out of the way. And I just hook up the HDMI from my computer to the TV. So I just boom right then and there. So it's not that big a deal. But we'll see what it is. So Rob says, have you seen the story that they've ramped up security at Carrington? It's to keep Calvert-Lewin out. Oh, Calvert-Lewin, man. There was a brief period, maybe 3-4 years ago, when he had like that halfway decent season where I was like, maybe, just maybe. And then the injuries keep happening and the form just drops, man. It's just not great. But yes, please keep Calvert-Lewin away from the club. So according to Indicala, Marco Algaraz as well, it's all kicking off. Rudy Galletti had a little something to say as well. It says Man United and Brighton will hold new talks in the coming hours, with United expected to submit their bid for Carlos Baleba. So Rudy Galletti is going as far as to say United are going to bid in the next, probably now at this point, middle of the day, who knows. Player wants to move, and Brighton, waiting for how negotiation would develop, are already working cautiously on a potential replacement. I'm telling you, man, next summer, we need to maybe prioritize looking at Brighton's recruitment, Brighton scouts, Benfica's recruitment, Benfica scouts, looking at some of these characters, these Club Brugge scouts or whoever we want to look at. We could save ourselves a ton of money. Just bring Ralph Ragnick back to the club. Make him a part of the team, man. Like I'm begging you, Ineos, just start cutting out the middleman. You're going to save yourself hundreds of millions of pounds if you just get better scouts. We'll see what you guys are doing, but I mean, if we just look at Brighton, look at what Leicester have done throughout the years and whatnot, like we got to go do it. You guys are funny. Rob says, yeah, he sacked his agent. Yeah, I mean, an agent, I get it. It's not his fault, but it's his agent's job to do that, right? And so if you got to figure it out somehow. Now, again, Calvert-Lewin's not really helping matters by just being shit, but what are your guys' thoughts on Baleba, though? And I know you guys, I've seen a ton of other content creators kind of putting out, how does Baleba fit, doing a breakdown. I consider doing that, but then I'm like, I don't feel like I need to at this point. Like, not just because there's other people doing it, just because I feel like it's one of those, like, we know about it. We don't really need to do a breakdown necessarily, right? Like, we know what we're getting. He's one of the best midfielders. Like, I wouldn't do one for Adam Wharton either, because we don't need to. I wouldn't need to do anything on like João Gomez. Like, we already know, we've watched them, we've talked about them enough. We can see with our own eyes they're among the top rated center midfielders in the league. We don't really there's nothing I could tell you that you don't already know, basically, is what I'm saying. So that's why we haven't done it. But if you want to know a little bit about how Baleba might kind of break down in terms of like how he compares to who he's probably going to be replacing in the side, who is, Manuel Ugarte, this is what that looks like. So on the left, you're going to see Baleba's numbers over the last year in all competitions. So again, excellent defensive numbers, wins a lot of aerial duels, obviously top 25%, tackles good, interceptions top 10%. You guys know how I feel about interceptions. It usually is an indicator that you can read the game because you can position, you can anticipate, you can step in, you know how to time and step in, when to step back. I like that a lot. But look at these take-ons. Look at these carries. The pass completion is good too. Now, I'd like to see a little bit more progressive passing from him. He does have it in his locker when he's got time and space on the ball. And again, similar to Ugarte, I think that if he can just improve it a little bit, I think it would make him perfect. But if you look at the right-hand side, you're going to see a comparison between Baleba and Ugarte over the last year as well. Now, you're going to see that Baleba's in the red, Ugarte's in the blue. Now, Ugarte's got a couple more assists. That's just the nature of it. He's been making a lot of those late runs. But when you look at the numbers that you're going to see on a consistent basis, even if you look at Baleba's progressive passing, yes, you're like, oh, it's below average. It's actually looking at the little web here. It's like twice twice as good as Ugarte's progressive passing. His progressive carrying just blows Ugarte's out of the water. His take-ons are better. Now, Ugarte gets a little more touches on the ball. That's just the nature of the way we're playing right now. But then if you look at how much, even defensively, we can say Ugarte, he's a terrier. He's going to get involved. He's a pit bull. Looking there, Baleba's actually got a higher percentage of dribblers tackled. He's got more aerial duels as well. And so I like what I see comparatively speaking. Sorry. Wrong one, guys. My bad. Do I have a double here? No, that's a different one. My bad, y'all. I've got so many of these pulled up already that I forget where I was. Let's see. Lucky says we're regularly contact. Yeah, we're talking about that, bud. Lucky says Baleba, more guy plays with Ugarte, strength on the pitch, Mason Mount. Yeah. So you can see his numbers are better than Ugarte in a lot of the metrics as well. Now, again, I'd like to see the progressive passing improve a bit because I think that that's just the one thing that you're going to need in this system as a midfielder. It's not enough to just say, well, I'm a ball winning 6 or I'm a chance creating like 8 kind of a thing. You have to be able to do a little bit of both. And you have to possess physicality, mentality, aggression as well. We got to match the midfield battle. We got to win that battle because that we've been losing even against teams like Wolves, Newcastle, Fulham, Forest, Spurs in that final. Like Liverpool are going to blow us out of the water for sure. Chelsea as well. We need to start getting better in that regard. And it's not enough to just be technically sound. You have to be willing to get physical and get a little bloody, get a little dirty, run for 95 minutes. Like you just have to. It's not enough at all. Danny says a Baleba and Mainu midfield will be fire. Yeah, and Mainu is another one though that I need to see a little more. Like let's say we get Baleba. Like what's the plan for when Bruno moves on? Because Bruno's not going to be here forever. If it were up to me, I'd probably get Baleba in and then maybe bring in a playmaking midfielder sometime next year if Mainu hasn't quite moved on, because Baleba's not Bruno. He's not a playmaker in that regard. He has energy. He's got fight. He can carry the ball clearly. He's press resistant as well. He's got a really good first touch, drop of the shoulder, little feint, and he's beaten the high press, and he's off to the races. I love that. But we also need someone who's going to pick those passes when we see Šeško on the run, when we see, Ahmad on the run, when we got Mbeumo, Cunha kind of on the run. We need someone who can play an incisive pass. We need someone who can put that ball on a dime to get it to Šeško's feet. Kabi's not that either. Kabi, again, similar to Baleba, has a good press resistance. He can drop deep. He can win. He can get the ball off his defenders. He can get it up the pitch. He's really good in tight areas. He's good on the ball. He's a good dribbler. Doesn't have that passing range. Doesn't even quite yet have that physicality, Kabi. So it leaves us a little light if Bruno leaves. And so we need to look at someone maybe like a Hayden Hackney, someone who does have that passing range as well, maybe to complement. Unless Mainu and Baleba can just fully reach a new level with their ball progression when it comes to making those passes, we are still going to struggle to find those players in advanced positions. Yeah, that's what we're talking about real quick, Rob, just whether or not this is going to work. I'm not saying Mainu's bad. I'm just saying he's still young, so I always want to make sure I lead with that. He's young. He shouldn't be starting week in, week out, not at least for another year, unless he just develops in leaps and bounds. I think we can all agree on that. But again, he's not this deep-lying playmaker that like Bruno or somebody is either. So Rob says, there are rumors that Bruno to Saudi in June is already pre-agreed. And if I told you guys it wouldn't, yes, 100 million this summer could help, but clearly we just don't care. And we could still get a lot of money for him next year, maybe even the same amount if you look at what's going on. Like, I think we'll be fine. So Danny says, I think Mainu Baleba has that passing range in their locker. Again, like I said, Baleba has shown that he does. It's just not necessarily the thing you're gonna like list and like the top 3 traits. If you list Mainu, if you go through Mainu and Baleba and I'm asking you to describe them, passing range is probably not going to be it. So he can get there. Baleba has shown that like in certain moments, he can pick that pass. He can play a good ball through the lines. He can make a switch of play and put it on it. He can, but can he do it consistently? Is that something that he's got that level of? If he can get there, awesome. I'm not worried. Otherwise, we might need to think about that. That's all I'm saying. It's remains to be seen yet if it's going to be a consistent thing. Yeah, he is definitely more of a give me the ball, I'm going to win the ball, and I'm going to get it up the pitch kind of a thing. How much is that needed when we've got Mbeumo and Cunha it's going to be interesting to see, man. You guys know I do love midfielders who can carry the ball, who don't always need to just get it and then pass it like you're playing ultimate frisbee, where you're allowed 2 touches and then you got to throw it. But we are going to need some passing as well. So we will see what happens there. But that's just a breakdown of how he's going to compare to Ugarte, who he's probably going to be replacing. Let's say Ugarte's probably got another year because he's really got to convince me for sure. So you guys let me know in the chat. We're going to move on to some other news. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, if you like the new drip, the 0708, and you want to get something like that for yourself, use that code to get $5 off GoGoShop. It's in the description. Go check it out. All right, moving on. Let me get some water because it's hot. So this is coming from Ben Jacobs. This is popping up yesterday. Obviously, you guys recognize the thumbnail. Rasmus Hojlund has now been directly told he'll need to leave to gain minutes this season and is considering his options. United prefer to sell, but have not ruled out a loan. AC Milan prepared to meet United's £40 million valuation via a loan fee and a buy option. Further talks took place yesterday, and that's been kind of the talk so far. So we got Hojlund kind of coming out the other week. I think it was after the Bournemouth friendly, saying like, I like competition. I want to stay here. I want to compete. Then, lo and behold, we wrap up this game against Fiorentina, right? Hojlund didn't get any minutes. Amorim came out after the fact and kind of said we struggled without a striker as a reference point, as a focal point. Hojlund's on the bench, no minutes. Writing seems like it's on the wall. Nathan Salt basically said the same thing that Ben Jacobs says. Now, it's really weird. Now, we got reports going into the weekend that not only had Milan made contact with Hojlund's representatives, but it sounds like we were set to meet with him this week to talk about that as well. And maybe what Ben Jacobs is saying here is the result of that meeting. It's really interesting. Now, remember, I think Mount lined up to start that match against Fiorentina as a false 9 as well. Really interesting, man. Take the money. I mean, like we're probably going to maybe get a loan fee of like 5, 6, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 mil, and then they're going to pay the rest and an option maybe. I think if the plan is for him not to be here, I would love to try to push that as an obligation, but at the same time, you do risk kind of squashing the deal altogether if you push too hard. It's an interesting place to be in. Do you take that money? Are we too light in attack if Hojlund leaves? Are we too light in attack if Hojlund stays? You guys let me know. Calvert-Lewin fired his agent. Maybe there's that option. Maybe I'd take Vardy over Calvert-Lewin any day if we want to try to go the cheap route with a free agent. That also means is maybe there's no one's going to wear that number 9 shirt. Didn't Chesko get the number 30? Isn't that what I read someplace? Is that legit yet? What are you guys saying? Agile, big up. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Danny says, I'm confident the only thing that can destroy Manu is the media and this fan base. He needs time. Yeah, and that's what I've said too. I think that, yes, there's a big portion of the United fan base, probably myself included at times, that probably overhyped him a little too much when he started. I think he was such a breath of fresh air that season. Remember, I think we voted him in that award that first season, like Player of the Year. I think it was mostly just because of that vibes that he brought, like that breath of fresh air, that academy player, that excitement, that like we're proud to see another academy midfielder come through kind of a thing. Scored some brilliant goals, obviously, as well. Some final goals. That goal against Wolves was a thing of beauty. Excellent young player, but key operating term there, he's young. He's only been playing first-team football for like a year and a half-ish, and he's had a fair few injuries. He's still developing physically. He's still developing from a technical standpoint as well. Doesn't know everything. He's only a kid. So give him some time, rotate him in and out, get him some minutes. He'll play. He's shown that he can do it. And I think rivals were just killing it too. But yes, the English media are going to love it. They love to build people up so they can break them down. It's just the way that media works. Danny says Ricardo Matthias. Danny's pushing hard for it. I'll have to do another striker video because I've got a couple more strikers ready to go as well. So Agile will take Mitrovic on loan from Saudi as a backup striker. Interesting. Yeah, he is that old school. I'm surprised that like Jose hasn't gone for him and brought him to Fenerbahce. He seems to me like a straight up Jose Mourinho number 9 Mitrovic. Just big, hold up the ball and get in the box, get ahead on it. He like ticks all the Jose Mourinho boxes for me. So, oops, what just happened here? I don't know what happened. Like he says, Rasmus Hojlund, £6 million out the door. Hopefully, we will see. Yeah, Lucky, get him come off the bench. Let him he can start some games. We've seen Colby played as a 10 a couple times as well. There's going to be opportunities for everybody to get minutes. That I'm not worried about. And I think that what I don't want to see is Amorim take another 6 months to keep tinkering and figuring out where people play in their best positions, like we saw when he first got here. We didn't have the same starting 11 twice in a row for like months when Amorim got here. Like that, we can't keep doing because that's not going to help anything. The players will pick the team. Let them show you in training. Let them show you when they get an opportunity in matches, whether that's coming on as a sub or starting. We don't need to tinker around too much, though. But yeah, Hojlund potentially going to AC Milan on loan. Very interesting development because I didn't know what was going to happen with Hojlund until the Fiorentina match. And then I sort of was like, brother, I'm sorry, but you might be gone, dude. Which is funny because he scored that goal against Bournemouth, too. And it's a really good goal. He did well to lose his marker, find some space, little touch on it to put it past the keeper. And you're thinking, all right, Hojlund, let's see some more. That was a number 9 sort of goal. And Hojlund has shown that in the past. He's had an excellent shot conversion in his first season. It was just one of those things where you seem get him the ball and he seemed to score at least 1 out of 3 chances, which is what you want. And then again, last year, something happened. I don't know if it's just everything going on at the club, if it was just new tactics, if it was just, a flash in the pan that first season, if this is his level. Confidence just kept building and building and building, like in terms of just like lack thereof, really. And he just getting in his own head. Maybe a combination of all of it. I think it had more to do with him getting in his own head and kind of just building the pressure up on his own instead of just keeping things simple. It looked like he was trying too hard. And when you're focused on the wrong things, you're not focused on the right things. And that's where you start to see the simple mistakes come in, the poor touches, the bad hold-up play, the constantly opting to try to get into that physical battle with defenders to try to maybe to prove himself rather than just stick with what he's best at, which is like, let's get a touch, let's make a quick run, let's curl this run, let's find space, use my speed, use my pace, and let's do it. Now, we saw glimpses of that in the postseason as well, but just not enough. And so we'll see what happens. If you can get that $6 million or whatever loan fee, and then the $35 million, bringing it to like $40 million, that's probably best case scenario for us. It just seems like a player who maybe, we didn't help 100%, but I think it is what it is. I think maybe just for his sake, better to just go and move on and do something else. So we'll see what happens. But just another one that didn't quite work out. Added to the Anthony list, added to the Sancho list as well. It happens sometimes. So we'll see what happens. But let's move on to keepers. You guys let me know your thoughts on Hojlund. I put a poll in the chat. What are you guys saying so far? So 62% of you say either a loan or a sale, but he's gone for sure. And then 35% of you say he'll stay and be back up to Šeško. So keep getting involved in the voting. I'll revisit there, Sean. Looking, Bossy says, oh, there you are, Sean. It was hard looking past Šeško. Yeah, the dude is a unit. The dude will cast a shadow over everybody. I didn't realize how tall he was. I mean, it's like one of those things where when we were scouting him and stuff, and I did that Watkins versus Šeško video, like we knew it, right? Like it's on the screen, but at the same time, just didn't quite click. And I'm like, oh wait, he comes walking out of the tunnel at Old Trafford ahead of this Fiorentina match. And I'm like, that dude is freaking tall. How tall is Ibrahimovic? I'm gonna see how tall, because Šeško's 6'5". Ibrahimovic, how tall is this bastard? I want to see how tall Ibra is comparatively speaking. Oh, computer. So they're the same height, basically, 6'5". All right, so he's basically, I mean, and we've already talked about, we see a little bit of glimpses of Ibra's style, that touch, that kind of aerial presence in the box. We see some of that from Šeško here and there. So again, like I'm not gonna try to be like flip-flop or anything. And he wasn't my first choice, mainly because of the price. And then we look at the numbers, but we'll back him. We're excited to have him here. Let's hope he kicks on. Let's hope he connects and syncs up with his teammates. And score some goals because he's going to have to. He's not going to have a choice. The fans won't be super patient. The media will not be patient. Amorim, Ineos, they might not be super patient. How much the responsibility falls on Amorim to get a tune out of Šeško remains to be seen. Everybody shares a bit of the responsibility and the accountability when things go wrong. And so we'll see what happens, you guys, but keep voting on what you think is going to happen with Hojlund, because we're going to move on to some other news here with goalkeepers. Guys, make sure you like in that video. Make sure you subscribe, because Graham Bailey on goalkeepers has claimed today that United could let Andre Onana leave on loan if we bring in a new starting goalkeeper this summer. Finally, we have someone who can look Virgil van Dijk's eye to eye. Well, I don't think Virgil van Dijk can look anybody eye to eye after they lost the freaking Community Shield. Not that I put a lot of thought into the Community Shield, but just Liverpool, they didn't look great. So, new goalkeeper. Maybe Andre Onana could go out on loan, according to Graham Bailey. Now, a lot of us don't quite rate Graham Bailey. Again, I don't write it. I just share it with y'all. But again, all the talk we've been seeing over the last week or so has been Gianluigi Donnarumma. A lot of talk this weekend. It's been rekindled again today because he's been left out of PSG's squad for the UEFA Super Cup, I swear. I've read. So make of that what you will. Clearly, I mean, that's got to be a message, right? You're not even in the squad. That's a way to force someone out, basically. Fabrizio Romano reckons that the relationship is completely broken. There's no road back for Donnarumma and PSG. Things are just done. He does say that the Premier League is probably his most likely destination. I don't know where he would go. It literally has to be us or Chelsea, I guess. But again, we've got Onana. Chelsea have a keeper as well. So we'll see what happens. I would say if you were 5 years younger, that would have Chelsea written all over it, because that's just, Todd Bowley settings. But 26 million, like we talked about, could get it done. He did like United's post the other day following the wrap up of the summer series, et cetera, et cetera. I know many of you like Donnarumma. I'd probably still go with Sen Lamens just because I think he's just on the ascendancy, and I do worry that Donnarumma is on the decline a little bit. Now, Graham Bailey also reminded us that Donnarumma wants $250K a week, and I think that for me is the biggest kicker. I don't want to pay him $250K. We've got Onana chilling on the bench already. Bayendier is still here. We can't have 4 keepers. Somebody's got to go. It just has to happen. What are you guys saying here? Santos Flo, welcome back. Hojlund will turn to Zlatan with Zlatan by his side. I mean, there's a chance that Hojlund could kick on with a proper opportunity to actually rotate and learn a little bit. But it's not as if Šeško is like a 27, 28, 29-year-old striker. He's the same age almost. So Rob says Liverpool lost in the Arteta Cup. Did you see Arteta freaking out, basically crying after somebody scored a goal? I was like, this dude is just ridiculous. He's an absolute joke, Arteta. So Rob said Chelsea have signed tons of keepers in recent. Chelsea have signed players in the last couple of seasons? No way. I don't believe you. I need a list. They have signed a lot of keepers, though. And they've got rid of a lot of keepers that they've spent. People forget they actually broke the keeper transfer record when they bought Kepa Arrizabalaga and then just fucked them off 2 seasons later. Mendy, they had Mendy. People forget they had Mendy for a hot second, and then now I think he's in the Saudi league. They brought who did they buy? Was it Sanchez? Is that who they got? And they already don't like him. They got that Petrovic guy, I want to say, from the MLS, and now I don't think is he still there? I can't remember. I think he's at Bournemouth now. Chelsea just don't care. They're like, well, if we lose, 20, 30 million over the couple of transfers, we'll just sell a hotel or sell the women's team. They literally just don't care. Little middle fingers up to FFP, to PSR, to the league. They do not care. They don't. One of these days, it's going to come to roost, though, man. I'm telling you. Sunjo says, Agent Onana deserves another if he brings Baleba. Lamin's better for the future than Donnarumma. Yeah, I'm just not happy with what I've seen from Donnarumma over the last few years and the wages, because it's not a big one. Danny says, another one I would be happy. Rob says, I want Lamens. He can only do a better job than Onana or Bayendier. Well, I mean, bars on the floor with that one, man. It's really not hard. My grandma can go sit on a chair on the goal line and knit and probably do a better job. Even if a shot just hits her in the face, she'll at least keep it out, which is more than I can say for Onana. just is the way it's going to be. Agile says they sold Petrovic for 25 million, made a profit on that transfer while we can't sell shit. Well, if they made a profit, fair play. But when you bought him from MLS, I mean, you're not going to pay a lot of money for him anyway. So wasn't he? I think he was at Chicago, if I remember correctly, because we were linked with him before that. So if you get someone from MLS, you're pretty much guaranteed to make profit on them when you sell them. So yeah, I saw that Onana's back training now. We'll see if he's fit enough. I don't know what's going on with this Leipzig friendly. Has anybody seen anything about that? I thought the proposal was that it was going to be in Leipzig. Maybe it's not a summer thing. Maybe it's like a sometime during the year thing. But yeah, well, on Donnarumma, the reason I'm not like super keen on him. So I brought this up, and I'll make it big so y'all can see it a little better. Because I'm not like, this is what if you break down Donnarumma compared to Sen Lammens. So again, Sen Lammens, we only have numbers from this season, and this is a season that we're basing a lot of this on because you don't have a lot of numbers. So Sen Lammens in the red, Donnarumma in the blue. These are for this past season and then the 23-24 season for his league form. So again, Sen Lammens this past season literally better in almost every single metric than the last two seasons for Donnarumma. Only for, like, you could see that Donnarumma in 23-24 had a better pass completion, which don't really care that much about, to be honest. And so I think that you're seeing a lot. And what you're seeing from Sen Lammens too is just like, he's got the average pass length. He's kicking a little longer. But again, those crosses stop. It's one thing that I keep looking at. And the save percentage too. Donnarumma's save percentage took a massive dip last season. And then if you want to go back even further, so these are the 22-23 and 21-22, if people want to say that Donnarumma's been good. Again, he's not really been better than Sen Lammens this past year in the last 4 years. So take any of Donnarumma's percentiles for the last 4 seasons, and they're not really any better than Sen Lammens this past year. Like, it's just the way it is. I'm not trying to sit here and tell people what you do. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you who to pick. I'm just, again, context is key. I'm providing context. I'm providing numbers for you guys. I've never said Donnarumma's a bad keeper, but I definitely don't think he's as good as a lot of people seem to believe. I think a lot of people may look at moments or look at the club that he's playing with and the fact that, yeah, they won the Champions League, but you have to look at a larger sample size. It's like Justin and I had this conversation the other day about McTominay. I love McTominay, but the fact that he popped up with a couple of great goals here and there it pales in comparison, sample size wise, to the role he had to play and how effective he was in that role in a double pivot. He's doing things at Napoli because they're playing him in a different role. And so we can't only rely on the goals that he popped up in. And I do, part of me does still wonder if this maybe has to do with agent talk or whatever. But again, like Shesko, while he wouldn't have been my first choice, I'm still going to back him if we sign him. Like, just, that's what you do with any player. You have to back them. You have to support them. You have to want them to do well. Give them criticism when they've not performed. Give them kudos when they do. That's just mature thing to do, personally. Rob says the Red Bull deal was for friendly. That's what I read. I remember we talked about that the other day. I don't see it on the calendar anywhere. So I'm like, when is this happening? Let me check and see. Maybe I just missed it. Let me look at FootMob. I do love FootMob. While I'm doing this, you guys, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. We are on the road to 3K. So we have a match. Oh, that's the Academy. So the Academy plays on Wednesday against Tamworth, but you're probably not going to be able to watch that because it's not at home. So those are the numbers, the last 4 seasons, comparing this past season's Sen Lammens to the last 4 seasons of Donnarumma. Again, they don't make for great reading if you're a Donnarumma fan personally, but my point was not to discourage anybody or change anyone's mind. It's just to give you guys context, mainly just for why I feel the way I feel, why I don't think he's worth $250K a week. Well, I do worry that he's on the decline, and I think that Sen Lammens is on the ascendancy. So, Rob says Garnacho is such a spoiled brat. I haven't seen anything with Garnacho personally, so I don't really know what's going on here. So, Rob says Chelsea and Manchester United are in direct contact for Garnacho, but there's still difference in valuation. Chelsea want to pay around $30 million. United start from $50 million. If they think they're going to get $80 million for Nicholas Jackson, and they're going to pay $55 million for Bino Gittins, they're going to pay however much they paid for Mikhailo Mudryk a couple years back, then And they're trying not to, like, that's such a low ball. That's like what I do on eBay. What Chelsea are trying to do, you'd be shocked. And this isn't a brag. This isn't a flex. This is an indictment once again of how I choose to spend my money. You'd be shocked at how cheaply I get some of these jerseys for on eBay because I lowball the shit out of people. Rob says we got a Carabao Cup game in August as well. Don't think the draw has been done. Interesting. Let's see what you guys are saying. Rob says Chelsea have tried to include Nicholas Jackson, Christopher Nkunku, Axel Disasi, Renato Vega, but United only want cash because United need cash. That Garnacho deal could literally pay for the first installment. That could literally be the difference between getting Carlos Baleba this summer or not. Because what you get for Garnacho you can put all that right at Brighton. You can just literally cut out the middleman and just take it and give it right to Brighton, and that's your first installment done. Yeah, I saw that Savio might be going to Spurs, right? That's embarrassing. You basically cheat to get him back to the club, and then you're going to turn around and sell him. I mean, fair play. They're making money, so it is what it is. But super embarrassing, man. So get your thoughts in. And Donnarumma, like I said, I put those numbers out there for you guys. Again, for me, if we sell Onana, it's one thing. But again, I'd still rather have Sonny Lamans because if you look at the crosses claimed and the save percentage last year, again, and even if you compare it to the last 4 years of Donnarumma, it's been better from Sen Lamans, and I think he's only going to go upwards. So we've seen, and there's a chance if Sen Lamans goes to a Premier League club, it could be a struggle, kind of like what we saw with Verbruggen, but Verbruggen has come on leaps and bounds, so we'll see what happens. Nubis Kubis, welcome back, says, I would take Quenda for Garnacho. We need some money. We need money coming in. So Chelsea can fuck off if they're not going to try to give us the money. If they're going to lowball us for $30 million. I'm not having it. Chelsea, we know how much you pay. I'm sure you got another hotel lying around that you all can go sell. So just go make it happen if you want. It's really not that difficult. Rob's giving me all the Garnacho updates. Says he informed United that it's Chelsea or nothing, even if the price to pay is staying at the club completely out of the project. He's waiting, hoping, working hard, and attentive to his phone. And this comes back to like the whole Calvert-Lewin thing. That's Garnacho's job, or his agent's job, to facilitate that move. Like, that's his job. Like, your agent is supposed to help you get the move. His agent's got to talk. Like, we put our foot down. It's the same with Anthony. You know, Betis can come in here and try to claim we want to do another loan. Just pay the money. We know you have money. So it's a bit ridiculous, this stuff that's coming out with Chelsea and whatnot. Danny says, let him rot in the reserves. Yeah, we're not paying him too much. He's one player that we could probably afford to do that with. We can't do that with Sancho or like Anthony because that's too much money to sit and chill in the reserves and just let rot. But Garnacho, it could be another situation of who blinks first. You know, are we going to lower our asking price? Or Chelsea going to up their asking price? Or Chelsea, could they sell anybody else? I couldn't tell you. Chelsea, do they have any other academy players they can get rid of? They've got a lot of players over there, Chelsea. I'm trying to think now off the top of my head. What's the other, a Kajuku or something? I can't. Sorry, apologies for mispronouncing. They've got some more players that they could probably sell. Chelsea. They sold Madueke, so they got a little money there from Arsenal. So I do think they've got more money than they want. So Agile says they also want $50 million for Jack Grealish as the fee after his loan, which is insane. Oh, Jack Grealish, man. These English wingers just, I don't know what it is, man. Nubis says, how long is Garnacho's contract left? Let's look at Garnacho's contract. Let's see. And how long he's got left on his contract. He has one so he signed a new deal in 23. His contract goes till 2028. So he's got another couple of years left. So, and he's only on 50K a week. So he's got loads of time. So we can chill. What are you guys saying here? I probably did, Nubis. It's mostly because I couldn't remember what it was, but I knew it was something similar. I couldn't. Let me know who it was because I completely slaughtered that. While we're talking about wingers, let's do this because Jadon Sancho got a couple little tidbits here from some of these wingers here. Again, nothing really new regarding Garnacho and Chelsea that we didn't already know. That it sounds like Garnacho wants Chelsea. We're kind of going back and forth on price right now. But if we do get that deal sorted, I think that's Baleba pretty much done, in my opinion. But you guys let me know if that's just kind of an instant Baleba thing. Rob says Jack is taking the George Best route to partying rather than the football. Jack Grealish, man, that dude is he's got one move, and it's two moves technically. It's roll over to pass back to my center back, or it's roll over to draw a foul on the outside of the box. That's the only thing I've seen Jack Grealish do at City, other than get absolutely hammered ass annihilated and had to get carried out of a house like a college freshman at his first kegger. That's literally what some of those photos look like. I feel like I've seen those people in college when I was there. It's embarrassing, man. He's a 28, 29-year-old man, and that's how he's acting. I can't abide people who need to be babysat in those regards. But compared to Bestie, he is a bit of a saint. But he also got that soccer mom haircut, so we can't forgive him there. But so sticking with wingers, so we got a little bit of a thing from Alfredo Padilla, who claims that now another Italian club have reached out for Jadon Sancho. So we saw the Juventus links a while back. That's gone very, very quiet. We saw a little bit of a hint of Inter Milan that Sancho was maybe a backup option to Lookman. But now it seems, according to Bedulia, that AS Roma have also inquired about Jadon Sancho. So maybe just Italy just wants Sancho. Maybe he's huge over there. I don't know. But apparently we've got 3 reportedly Serie A clubs who have been interested in him. Again, nothing has happened with Juventus since they made Conceicão's loan a permanent move. I just figured that meant Sancho to Juve was off. But apparently I don't know what's going on. But he reportedly turned down an offer to reunite with Oli at Besiktas. So I don't even know how long Oli's going to be there. There's a lot of talk already that Oli could be sacked. But we'll see what happens. Poor guy. I think he really should have been handed he should have gone in for the England job. I think that the way Ollie plays, I think would have been really fun for English fans to watch. He knows a lot of those players. I think he would have got them just attacking like crazy, but hey, it is what it is. He's basically Mancunian anyway, Ollie, so it would have worked. But so Sancho potentially still gotten some suitors out there, gone very, very quiet in that regard. Fabrizio Romano reported earlier this morning that Isco at Real Betis is injured and probably going to be out of action for the first 3 months minimum. I think he got injured in a friendly. You guys know I hate friendlies, and that's why. But he also adds, Romano, that this could impact Real Betis' transfer plans in the market because they wanted Antony. They sold a couple players. They bought a midfielder from Liga MX. Isco was immense for them last season as well. This could hurt. They're going to need goals. They're going to need chance creation. They're going to need some exciting, some flair, some energy, some creativity. That means maybe they could push to come back in towards Antony. I mean, he's right there, Betis. I'm just saying. Pellegrini, come get your guy, dude. You know you want him. We know you want him. Antony knows you want him. Just get it done. Like, it's not hard to do. Nubis, we're going to talk about that in 1 second, my friend. We're going to wrap up here in a couple minutes with some training ground updates and whatnot. So, Debassi says, pay up. Yes, just pay up. It's not hard. It's not like it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Just go do it. You want him. He's done well for you. He could probably, you guys sat there and had your fans all give him MVP awards like in his first match, like just to take the piss. Like, we know you. Remember, those awards are voted for by fans, by the way. So, Lucky says Toby Collier joining Hull City. Interesting. Is he? Let me see. I read someplace that was a possibility, but I haven't seen anything like confirmed. So yeah, I haven't seen anything confirmed so far. On training ground news, so we got a couple of reports and some updates here. So Xerxes back in training with the full squad, so could be a potential boost for us. Where do you see Xerxes playing with all the new additions in the squad? Is he going to be a rotation option as a 9? Is he going to be a 10? Is he maybe going to rock up as a false 9 against certain opposition if we need him to? How do you see this happening? He's versatile, so we'll give him that. He's not going to get you 20 goals a season, but he can do a job. Just depends. Maybe he's just a floating option. How long is he going to be happy with that role, though, Xerxes? Sure, he wants to be starting. He's old enough. I think he's older than Shesko, right? So he's probably going to want to be starting week in and week out, but we'll see what happens there. He's not going to get in over Cunha. He's not going to get in over Mbumo. maybe if we have to rest Ahmad or somebody, maybe Mbumo can move over to the right wing back and Xerxes can come in as the 10. But then what happens with Mount? It's a good problem to have, but it shows again that while maybe we don't have quality in depth, we do have a lot of players in this squad. And so it's a tough one to figure out. Hopefully we can still move a couple of them on, but Xerxes back in training with the squad is a big boost. Reportedly, too, a handful of youngsters were involved in the training this past week as well, including James Scanlon, Camison, Ethan Williams, Reece Bennett, Bendito Montato, Devaney, and Ethan Ennis. Remember Ethan Ennis? We talked about him a lot last season as well. I think he signed a pro contract with us last season before going out on loan. So a lot of youngsters getting involved. Haven't seen Sekou Kone. He wasn't in the squad against Fiorentina. I don't know what's going on with him, but I'd like to see him either go out on loan or get involved, but I just don't know how that's going to work. Let's see. Debasi says Vitek, Collier. Don't know if Amos also loaned out. There was some talk about Amos getting loaned out. Now we know Vitek got loaned out because remember the other day we talked that Bristol did have their first match and he was very good for them. I think they won that 4-1 or something. Doing very well. He's definitely probably going to get sold next season, so it's unfortunate, but we'll see what happens with him. Danny says, wouldn't think he's a CB, though. He started out as a mid fullback occasionally. Vega, is that what's going on? You guys are funny. So Licha also back training individually, but now on grass. So obviously we saw him kind of working out, training indoors. Now Licha's back training on grass on an individual basis. Apparently he's making very, very good progress. He will be back in training with the first team soon, is the report I'm seeing. One player not pictured in training is Nusser Mazraoui. We know that he's pretty much missed the entire preseason. Odds are it'll take him a little while to get back at the speed. Probably not going to be in the squad against Arsenal, but he was not training today as well. Can someone remind me what happened with him? Because I just can't remember it off the top of my head now that we're talking about it. But remind me what happened with Mazraoui as we do that. So the boss everyone's talking about center backs. Now, I've got a list of center backs. We can do my center back scouting video maybe later on, or maybe Wednesday. But I've got 5 young center backs to keep an eye out for that are ready to go for a scouting report special. So I've got that in the chamber, y'all. Nubis feels like Abragamov is too good to be in the academy. There's a lot of players who I think they look, and they probably are too good for that level. I don't know if that necessarily means they're good enough to be in and around the first team picture. They're probably ready to maybe go out on loan. Now Johnny Evans now is going to be playing a role in the loan system for the youngsters and helping them facilitate those loans, helping them choose the best loans for them, because that is going to be a make or break for some of these youngsters. Going to a team where you're going to get minutes, where you're going to develop and things like that. I would also maybe look at teams whose managers are on sure footing, because we've seen that kind of hinder. Like when Garner was at Watford, they sacked their manager mid-season, and after that, he didn't really get any minutes. So things like that can happen. And so I like to see what Evans can do. I don't have a problem with Evans doing that if he's good at it. But if it's just promotion from within, I got a problem with it. But he's got to be good at it. So Fletcher seems like he's doing his thing. So we'll see what happens. Darko, welcome back. Says it's a good problem to have, but we can only afford a perfect lineup in every match. No room for experiments or unnecessary tinkings. Yeah, and I've said that earlier in the stream as well, is what I don't want from Amorim is more of this, no same starting 11 for like 3 months at a time kind of thing. Like the players will pick the team, let them see in training, let them see how they perform. I don't want to keep using these matches now that you've got preseason, now that you've got training, and now you've got more time between matches. We can't use the matches as experimentations. We just can't. It's not a training exercise. This is not a scrimmage, as we say in the U.S. Like, your best 11, let the players play, do what they need to do. No more of this, because it did cost us in quite a few matches. So let's see. Danny's giving me some more players to look at. So big up. Yeah, Devasi. JJ Gabriel looks like he is ready for the next level in the academy, dude. He's already been playing under 16s. He's already been playing. Sorry, just putting something on my phone here. He played. Remember, JJ Gabriel played that under 16 matches. Then the next day played under 18 match as well, and he's just an absolute baller. We need to wrap him in cotton wool in terms of just locking him up in a contract and not letting him leave because he's an absolute beast. Jim Thwaite, yeah, it's another one. We've got like the academy is the strongest I've seen it since the early 90s. Like it's legit, like chock full. And the funny thing is not all these players are going to make it at United. That's the funny thing. Like some of them are going to have to go on loan, get sold and stuff. It's freaking crazy. Nubis says, do you think United should keep Leach a long term? He's been injured half his time at United. It's really going to depend, in my opinion, it's going to depend on his recovery from this latest one. Now, I think to keep it fair and balanced, you got to remember those first two major injuries that Leach has suffered, I wouldn't call those like injury-prone injuries. Those were contact injuries, which that can happen to anybody. That doesn't mean you're injury-prone. Now, where you're going to start to see the injury-prone stuff, like Luke Shaw, Mason Mount, Martial, Phil Jones, those guys are injury-prone. Leach's were contact. But the problem is that when you miss so much football long-term and you come back, there is a higher risk of the stuff like the ACL, the calf strains, the hamstrings and stuff. That's what we saw happen. You can't go that long without maybe picking up. It's like when so Justin and I used to kick a ball around for like hours, at least once a week when we were younger. And then he went to do student teaching in South Korea for like a year. And then when he came back, like I hadn't really played a whole lot. We went hard like 3 hours once, and I like it was too much, and I pulled my groin. Like literally, it was like when I turned 30, pulled my groin. I had IT band issues because I tried to do too much too quickly without really warming up and stuff. But that's going to happen. You can't just not think that that's going to happen. Personally, Jay, welcome back. It says, if we sell all these players, what options do we have in terms of strength and depth? Well, those are two different things, right? There's strength and depth, and then there's depth. Because while I don't think we've got quality and depth, like strength and depth, I don't think everybody in every position that we have is amazing. The fact remains that we do still have a bit of a bloated squad. I'm not even including like the ones like the Antonys, the Sanchos, the Garnachos, the Malacias who we're trying to get rid of. I'm talking just if you look at guys like Casemiro, potentially Ugarte. A lot of people want to get rid of Harry Maguire. Luke Shaw, Dallo I would sell as well. Mason Mount, probably best if we get a decent offer, probably best to move him on as well. Because I just can't, like he's looked good when he's fit, but I can't rely on him to stay fit. This is what I mean. Like we've got a lot of players. They're not all good enough, in my opinion. Onana, out the door. Bindier needs to go as well. Hojlund probably should be going too. And so it's a hard place to be in. It's a decent problem to have. But again, it's not like City back when they were winning trebles where their bench was worth, a cajillion pounds. Like it's just not the same necessarily. So let's see. Danny says this season he has to show us something. If not, I would sell. Who are we talking about there? Licha? Yeah, and again, it's just going to come down to get back to the original question. It's going to come down to how he recovers from this. Now, his recovery looks very, very good. He's way ahead of what I thought. I was anticipating not seeing Licha till like November. But again, seems like it wasn't super, super bad. He's already back individually training on grass. I think we can probably see him by like maybe like October-ish, September. We'll see what happens. So Rob wants to know what happened to Biancheri. Last I heard, he went to Canada to see that national team. Maybe Craig Bellamy has kidnapped him. Biancheri is another one that I would really like to step up. I think he's old enough now. He's older than Cheeto. I think he suits one of those 10 roles to a T. Biancheri, he has a knack for playing kind of just off the striker, coming in, getting involved late runs, setting strikers up and stuff. He and Cheeto had a really good link up in the academy. I like Biancheri a lot. I would have liked to have seen him maybe as an option for one of those 10 roles instead of maybe automatically going out and buying a young number 10. But he's at an age now, Biancheri, where I think a loan to a team that, honestly, I think maybe even a loan to like Como or something, or like PSV. I think he could swing personally, maybe Porto or something. I don't know. Could be. He's 19 now, I think, Biancheri, 18, 19. I think he's up there. He's ready because I think now he needs now go ply his trade against grown men in bigger leagues. Rob says we can't be having scenes like last season, Lindelof and the kids on the bench. Yeah, we have a decent bench now, but again, a lot of the bench is players who everyone's been wanting to sell. And that's why I question like the quality and depth versus just the straight up depth. And so it is what it is. Their job. I mean, being a squad player is not the worst thing. Squad players are very, 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 very important. They help out in training as well. They can be relied upon. Oftentimes, you have to always be ready, whether or not you're playing, because you just never know when you're going to be needed. And as an impact sub, I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, one of the most underrated strikers we ever had. People think, oh, he just scored in this Champions League final, or he was not a great coach. People forget he's one of our best strikers ever. Like, he just is. Dude came on against Newcastle, I think it was, in like the 76th minute as a sub and scored 4 goals. Like, Ollie was an absolute assassin, like just lethal, just absolutely lethal. So, in other news, Liverpool lost the Community Shield to Crystal Palace. I saw Dean Henderson coming in strong in the shootout. If you guys watched any of that, I didn't watch the match itself because I just couldn't be bothered, honestly. But apparently, yeah, Hendo was superb. I did watch a little bit of the shootout. I saw a stat. Someone can fact check me on this because I saw it online. But did I see a stat that Mo Salah has 0 goals in 15 finals? Is that true? Someone's gonna have to check that for me. I saw it and thought I'd throw it out there, but if true, I mean, it's not like Liverpool have been in a lot of finals since he's been there. What have they been in? Like a couple of domestic cups and then 2 Champions Leagues and stuff. And so it's not like they've been in a lot of them. So, but yeah, I didn't watch the actual match. So I heard people saying that Adam Wharton did really well. He'd be another midfielder I'd be willing to spend a decent amount on. Adam Wharton. João Gomez is probably up there for me too in terms of Premier League midfielders if we're looking at them. So, but someone let me know if they watched the match, how'd they do? I want to know. Did he really sky the penalty? Oh my God. Oh, if true, Mo Salah, man. Mo Salah. But on that though, Dylan sent me this yesterday, just for laughs in here. So apparently, according to this individual, in just the course of a season and a half, Oliver Glasner has now matched Mikel Arteta's legacy at Arsenal. So if you remember, Arteta's only claim to fame so far has been an FA Cup with Unai Emery's squad. As soon as Arteta and Edu started this whole process, this rebuild and everything, it all went to shit. And so Glasner's already got an FA Cup and he's got a Community Shield to his name. And I've always had time for Oliver Glasner. I watched him a lot when he was coaching the Bundesliga at a couple different clubs. He's actually a very good coach. And he's doing a lot with Crystal Palace. And that's no offense to Crystal Palace, but let's face it, they're not, the quality of Liverpool, the quality of like City and whatnot. So, but they do have some good players. Eze, obviously very good. Mateta having a very good couple seasons. Wharton, superb. Got obviously a U.S. men's national team international playing in defense, and Richards. They've got some good players there, Palace. And Ismail Assar, easily maybe the one that got away when he was at Watford and we were linked all those years ago. I think he would have been a better buy than someone like Sancho, for instance. But found his niche, so we'll do that. So let me see what you guys are saying here. Rob says, Eagles lost their appeal, so we'll be in the ECL next season. Forest in the Europa. Interesting. That's got to be like one of the stupidest things. Like, they won that's so dumb. That's insane, man. They're supposed to be in the Europa League. They won the FA Cup. Like, that's bullshit, dude. I'd be so mad. I'd be extremely mad. He says Gomez would be a good shout, but he's a tier below. Oh, he's definitely a tier below Baleba. Baleba's probably up there with some of the best in the Premier League right now. I'd put Wharton maybe just below him as well. Wharton's a little different profile. Wharton is definitely, I mean, he's not as fast. He doesn't get around the pitch as much as Baleba, but I think Wharton's probably got the better ball playing. So maybe Wharton, like I saw the highlight Wharton's ball for one of Palace's goals, and just beautiful ball, just perfect placement, perfect weight, perfectly cushioned ball, just a little dink cushion ball over the top. Perfect ball. I think Wharton maybe got that passenger. What is Wharton's I'm gonna look at his passing numbers real quick because he was injured, right? So his numbers might be a little skewed if he wasn't playing as much last season. Yeah, his progressive passes are very good. His pass completion's not great though, so he's willing to play those balls. He's just maybe not quite tuned it in yet. So, but I feel like he's got a little bit more of that passing range in him. Rob says Henderson's water bottle apparently says Salah Rosed. Oh boy, it's Mo Salah. Jermaine Francis, welcome, says, I don't like the 3-4-3 system. I've seen a lot of people say that. I wouldn't get too bogged down personally by the formation. I would look at more of the average position of players on the pitch in periods of transition, in rest defense, in attack and stuff. And that will kind of get you a better idea of what the actual system is. Because remember, formation is not necessarily system. But I hear you. A lot of people criticize it. I mean, Tuchel did pretty decently with it. Conte did pretty decently with it. It's going to be really player specific. You're going to need technically sound defenders, and you're going to need physical midfielders with solid mentality as well. And so it does require a certain caliber of player and a certain profile of player that unfortunately we didn't have without actually starting to buy players. So we'll see how it goes. I think with at least one more window in the summer, I think that this system you'll start to see it really, really deliver. We've already seen it, I think, in the summer against Premier League sides who, I mean, they're in the same boat we are, so we have to compare it to that. But I hear you. I know a lot of people are frustrated. I just don't think that I don't think that the main reason that we struggled is down to the system, I guess is what I'm getting at. But I hear you, man. I hear you. It was frustrating last year for sure. I'm going to take this off the screen now because we're done here. Apparently, Heung-min Son plays for LAFC now. I randomly didn't clock that at all. I mean, I saw that he requested to leave Spurs, but I just kind of continued living my life after that point. I didn't know he's in the MLS, but I saw that he played the other day, so that's crazy, man. Nuba says, if City get Rodrigo, would that make them a favorite to win the league, or at least on par with Liverpool? Is Rodrigo even leaving? I feel like all we've seen is that he doesn't want to leave, and that he wants to stay at Madrid. I didn't know that he was leaving. If he leaves, he's got to go for a lot of money. There's no way. Now, it would make sense for Real Madrid to sell him because I think they are struggling a bit financially. But when you're backed by the royalty, it doesn't really matter, I guess. Danny says we should pivot straight to Wharton if Brighton rejects our bid. I fully 100% agree. We could maybe throw Toby Collier at them if we wanted to as well. Maybe see who else we can give. Maybe give them Shaw and Collier, give them a twofer and a bunch of cash. But I fully agree. If we can't get Baleba, go get Wharton immediately. And that's what you need to do. Those, like I said, those two of the gettable midfielders, the ones who are probably going to cost a lot, but they're gettable. If you're looking at Premier League, that's probably got to be it, right? I mean, you have to. So I see glimpses of Carrick here and there in Wharton as well. So I like that a lot. So Tabasi says, don't know if Wharton will be better than Baleba. Yeah, obviously we never know. And I'd probably still put Baleba ahead of Wharton right now, but you never know. The right system, who could have it? I mean, it is. You also do have to wonder, who can maybe handle the pressure of United. That is a factor that you don't get with a lot of clubs. So there is that to consider as well. Rob says a La Liga game is going to be played in Miami this season. Villarreal versus Barcelona. Interesting. And then we have NFL games in England this past year. Was that a thing? I don't really watch the NFL anymore. I used to watch it more. I just don't anymore. The commercials I can't. I'm too impatient. I can't handle the commercials. But Lucky says we're contacting next. I mean, if we're looking at midfielders and we're looking at, again, we're trying to look in the Premier League. It's hard to improve upon Baleba, Wharton. I think Gomez, like Danny said, probably the level below that as well. Who else would be up there for you guys? Who's gettable? Not just go get, Enzo Fernandez or Declan Rice. Who's gettable that is up there for you right now? I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I'm struggling. I'm blanking right now. I'm absolutely blanking. You guys let me know who you be looking at in there. Rob says, rumors, if we can't get Baleba, we're looking at Angelo Stiller. Where'd you see that? I haven't seen that at all. I thought Stiller was basically holding out for Real Madrid. I like Angelo Stiller a lot. I really do, but I thought he was Real Madrid, man. Let's see what we're doing here. Nuba says, even if United get Baleba, I feel like United still need another center midfielder in case Baleba's injury or when he goes to the AFCON. I just don't see anyone to fill the gap when Baleba is not playing. Well, whoever fills the gap is probably going to be people who are already here. Your Casemiros, your Mainus, your Ugarte, your Collier if he doesn't go anywhere. The midfield we've had is the midfield we're probably going to have because I don't see any of them leaving aside from maybe Collier on loan. And then if Coney doesn't go anywhere, Coney could come in maybe and get minutes. But if he's not going to get minutes here, then he needs to go out on loan, Coney, because it's just he's there. He needs to go out on loan. So, but I hear you. Yeah, there you go. That's a good shout, Danny Anderson at Forest. That's a good one. Yeah, good shout there. Sanderberga, maybe go get Sanderberga, but again, not the same level, like at all, like nowhere near the same level. Nuba says, I would love for United to try to sign Hackney on loan with an obligation to buy. Hackney would cost you like 15 million pounds. He's not even going to cost that much. You could throw Collier at Middlesbrough and knock that down to like 10 million or like 8 million even, I think. So you guys know I like Hackney. He played the other day for Middlesbrough as well. So we'll see. I think they lost, though. I think they did. Wrexham lost, I think, to Southampton. So a little bit of a rude awakening for Wrexham, a little bit of a glimpse. Like you are playing some teams, like I said, who are basically, you could call them Premier League sides, even though Southampton are a bit of a yo-yo club. But you're going to be playing those tough teams now. So Wrexham are going to have to step up. I know that they've been kind of going crazy signing a lot of players these days. So I think they got who's the keeper they've got over there now? I can't remember now. They've got a former Premier League keeper in there. They signed Connor Cody, Wrexham. So they're trying hard. They're pushing. They know that they need to find players who played in these leagues before to help them out. So, but yeah, you guys know how I feel about Hayden Hackney. I think he's an absolute boss. So I'll do one quick check. You guys make sure you liking, make sure you subscribe in the channel. Check those memberships as well. And if you want to get yourself some sweet swag like this new 0708 away jersey that I just got from GoGo Shop, there is a code in the description to get $5 off if you use that to register. So don't see any updates here. So nothing here. Rob says Bournemouth have sold 3 defenders. Brentford have been weakened. A few teams looking weaker going into the season. Yeah, I told you guys, and we'll talk a little bit more about this when we do the season preview, like the prediction video, and we rate the transfer window as well. I worry about Bournemouth. I worry about Brighton, and I think that Iriola's been hard done by a little bit by his owners and stuff, because I mean, selling your center back pairing in one summer is just, that's not okay. And you don't have a whole lot of time to do anything. Now I hope that their scouting department and their recruitment is top and they can identify and bring in some younger players. They still got Senesi. He's not as good as a Barnier and definitely not good as Housen, but it is what it is. Maybe they can look for it. Maybe we can offer Shaw, like take Shaw, please. He'll play that left center back role, dude. And he'll get it done. So Rob, absolute legend, has gifted 5 memberships in the chat. Big up, Rob. Appreciate that. Danny got himself one. Jay, Rajat, big up, Rajat. Nico, Ava, and Skeptical Hippo might be the newest recipient of the best username reward. But big up, Rob. Absolute legend in the chat, man. That's awesome. You know what? Why don't we do that? I'll just do that too, man. Why don't I do it as well, man? Why not? Let's do it. Remember, in order to do this, you guys have to have it turned on. So I don't want Rob to steal all the thunder to get all the glory. I'm going to go ahead and do it as well. So I've just gone ahead and gifted 5 memberships as well, because I'm just jumping on Rob's man. He's making me look bad. But I'll go ahead and do that as well. Big up, Rob. Absolute legend in the chat. Appreciate you, man. Always jumping in, always promoting the channel on Twitter and whatnot as well. I see you. I see you. So big up, you guys. Absolute legends, everybody. For the charity, yes. It is for the charity. That you still have a little bit of time to wrap that one up. And you'll see that link in the video description as well. They did the bowling event this past Saturday for that, or what's today? Yeah, this past Saturday they did the bowling event. So that was a big hit, but there's still the donating is still open for a while for the Michigan Animal Welfare Foundation, and then the dog shelter that my wife volunteers at and is on the board with. So there's opportunities there. And like I said, any memberships, any super chats, anything you buy from the United vs. Everybody store, which there's a link in there as well, that all goes towards a charity. So when that all wraps up, I'll cut them a check for that. But big up, Rob. Absolute legend, man. Love it. Agile says, Bournemouth made 127 million pounds. Yeah. But again, at the end of the day, cool. But if you're just going to hoard it, if you're not going to reinvest, if you're not going to support your manager with that, when you've literally cut his legs out from under him, that's just not going to work out, man. So we'll see how it goes, man. Gonna they're really gonna have to do a lot to scramble in these next couple weeks, as otherwise they're gonna be screwed. Nuba says, have United put a bid in Baleba yet? I saw the news that a bid has been rejected. I haven't seen the news that a bid has been rejected. I saw some rumors that we've offered Collier plus cash, and that was rejected, but I don't know how legit those were. Debasi going hard in the paint. Everybody's just buying memberships. Remember, you have to have your YouTube settings to be able to accept memberships. Otherwise, you will not be gifted them. Some people didn't have that set up way early on when the channel was around and they weren't able to get the membership. So you have to go into your settings and make sure you're able to accept those gifts. But big up Debasi. Everybody just, this is like Oprah out here. You're getting a membership. You're getting a membership. You're getting a membership. Sorry to steal your thunder there, Rob. We're all sharing the thunder today. It's all good, man. You guys know the channel is all about you guys. So just want to make sure everybody gets hooked up. But legends, Rob, legend, Debasi, you guys are awesome. Debasi says, we are Shesko, Cunha, and Buemo gifting goals. Yeah, so we're in a giving mood today. How about we give a couple of ass kickings to some of these rivals as well? We're going to be back, obviously, ahead of the weekend to preview the Arsenal match because you guys, Premier League kicks off this weekend if you guys maybe missed that. Don't forget, tomorrow night is Kickabout, not Wednesday. So tomorrow, 6 o'clock, Kickabout. So be sure to hit that bell. Make sure you don't miss out on that. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And check the memberships. I know some of you just got some, but check the memberships, learn how you can get more involved. And go check out the UVE store as well. A lot of excellent, one-of-a-kind gear. You don't give the Glazers any money. You don't cost an arm and a leg. And so you have that. So thank you guys for stopping by today. Get involved in the chat. If you weren't able to join us live, leave a comment. You guys know I do check the comments. And so until next time, enjoy the rest of your day. You will know we'll be back if any major breaking news drops. But until then, be sure to come back tomorrow. For sure, we'll be chatting with Dylan as well. So big up everybody. And again, Rob, Debasi, gifting those memberships, legends, all of you guys. This is the best community. I love doing this. I love meeting and getting to know every one of you. And that, again, is just another example of why I do what I do. This is awesome. So take it easy, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. And thank you guys for getting involved. Take it easy, and I'll talk to you later.